Preston the Ice Pick Schick is a mixed martial arts fighter who gained national attention for his world-class striking. These two teams haven't played in more than a decade, but trust me, there was no love lost between these two hated rivals. This season will mark the start of a new era for the UNACA football program, with head coach O'Brien Bennett taking over the reins of a team that went just 1-9 a year ago. Tomorrow, right here in the Amway Center, ETSU has a chance to do something it hasn't done in 25 years. Opposing quarterbacks better get the ball out quickly, or else it'll be a sack. When the Johnson City Cardinals took the field tonight, they weren't wearing their usual red and white uniforms. Instead, the Redbirds were decked out in Tennessee orange in honor of the late Pat Summitt. A win is a win, and 27-0 may seem like a dominating result, but nobody on Tech is pleased with the offense's performance. Josh Dobbs will go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks in Tennessee history, except now number 11 is a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're still not sure who his replacement will be. New athletic director Scott Carter tearing up, accepting what he calls his dream job. If each team's performance today is any indication of how well they've behaved this year, well, the Tennessee Titans are definitely on Santa's naughty list. There are only about 350 students at UNACA High School, and football is a numbers game. Last year, UNACA just did not have the numbers to compete.
You have that 11 playing offense, that 11 playing defense, that 11 playing kick return and kickoff.
People really didn't want to play because they thought since we didn't have numbers, we weren't going to win anything.
New head coach O'Brien Bennett, a Kingsport native, says more kids are expressing interest in the program this year, but he does not have enough helmets for all the newcomers.
We don't want to turn kids away because we don't have the resources to put them on the field safely.
That's why Coach Bennett set up a GoFundMe page where you can sponsor the team as they complete community service projects.
We want to give these kids the opportunity that if they can't get an athletic scholarship, that they're going to meet their Tennessee Promise requirements, and they're going to have options after they graduate high school.
So far, the team has completed 258 hours of community service, which includes remodeling a trail at Roan Mountain State Park.
At the beginning, it didn't look too well, but towards the end, it looked great. So hopefully that'll be like how our season will go.
The fundraising goal is $10,000, which will help pay for a new batch of helmets and shoulder pads.
We want to get better, like with community, get active, and if we do stuff for them, you know, they'll come out here and support us.
Coach says with more support comes more gear, more players, and hopefully more wins.
Our goal from day one has been to be one day better. We want to compete with ourselves as individuals and let the results take care of themselves.
Myself.
Each player gets teamed up with a buddy to help them learn how to hit, field, and run the bases.
We really like playing because we actually get to play.
Being a buddy is often the most rewarding position.
The community thinks that the blessing is for the kids, but it's not. The blessing is actually for all of the organizers and all the people involved.
But the league's current field isn't as accessible as organizers would like.
There's some places that some people can't get to because they have some disabilities or some special needs.
So Coburn's Little League president stepped up to the plate and applied for a grant from the International Little League Organization, and he hit a grand slam.
And it was the max amount we could get.
The grant is worth $20,000, and the money will go towards transforming the parking lot from gravel to smooth pavement.
There's a lot of gravel areas down here that, you know, wheelchair accessibility is a little rough, that we would like to pave, you know, walkways around the parks just to help them out in any way we could.
Maine says by the time the Challenger League starts up again next year, all the renovation should be complete. Getting the facts right in Coburn, Virginia, Mike Lucas, News 5 WCYB. TJ Cromer struggled last game, not the case tonight. He drains the triple early on, and get used to seeing that. Cromer connecting from deep again, one of 6 first-half three-pointers for the first-team all-conference performer. Cromer also gets 3 points the old-fashioned way, driving and getting the contact plus the foul. Other Bucks getting in on the action as well. DeSante Bradford throwing the alley-oop to A.J. Merriweather. Bucks led by 13 points at the half and would extend that lead to as many as 20. Second half action now, more threes from Cromer, his 9th triple of the game. That ties a Southern Conference tournament record. The Bucks roll past Sanford and will face UNCG in the Southern Conference Championship. Staying in Carter County, Hampton hosting Gatlinburg Pittman on opening night. Bulldogs waste little time putting points up on the board. Hunter Davenport takes the toss, makes one cut, and this guy can fly. Nobody is catching up to him. 6-0 Hampton after they failed to convert the 2-point conversion. Next Bulldogs possession, Adam McClain punches it in from 1 yard out. Hampton goes up 2 scores early, but on the ensuing kickoff, Gatlinburg Pittman strikes back. Matthew Side slices and dices his way up the sideline, and by the time the defense can catch up, it's already too late. 85 yards to the house, but Hampton wins this game convincingly, 64-28. In Southwest Virginia, Friday nights are reserved for football, but every once in a while, the football gods smile down on us and give us 2 nights of action. And that's exactly the case this week, with Marion making the trip down to Virginia High. Austin Wyatt leading the Scarlet Hurricanes against the Bearcats and their stout defense. Third quarter, Michael Howard gets the toss, but Kelby Ford looks at footballs like snacks, and he's hungry, ripping the ball away for the Marion turnover. Scarlet Hurricanes up a score in the fourth when Alex Mazoff finds an opening down the left sideline, gets a key block, and nobody's catching him. That makes it a 21-7 game. Late in the fourth quarter, last chance for the Bearcats, but Jamie Lathrop gets dropped by Zach Robinson, and Marion steals the win on the road, 21-7. Let's take a look at the rest of the Friday night schedule in Virginia. Abingdon is at Northside. Union hosts Richlands for the second time this season. Grayson County is at Ridgeview, and John Battle plays Graham on Saturday. And that's not all, folks. Chilhowie hosts Castlewood. Patrick Henry gets a home game against Thomas Walker. J.I. Burton heads to Grundy, and Eastside hosts Hurley in another Saturday afternoon game. Let's cross state lines. Check out Tennessee's schedule on Friday night. Dobbins-Bennett at home against Bradley Central. Greenville welcomes Chattanooga Central to town. Elizabethton visits 11-0 Anderson County. And undefeated Johnson County welcomes Austin East to Mountain City. Sullivan North at home against Rockwood. Happy Valley at Meigs County. And Cloudland will be at home against Cofield. The ETSU men's basketball team opens their season tomorrow night at Northern Kentucky. The Bucks graduated 4 of their 5 starters from last season's NCAA tournament team, so it may not come as a surprise that the Bucks were picked to finish 4th in the Southern Conference this year. It should also come as no surprise that head coach Steve Forbes made sure to use that as a motivational tool with his team.
You know me, of course I do. I use the crap out of that, you know. Disrespected, you know, won the league last year. This is what they think of you. Come on, you know I'm the master of that. It doesn't matter. You still got to play the games. And the one thing I think people maybe misjudged with my team a little bit is we lost a lot of really good players. But we got a lot of guys back that played a lot last year, too, in big situations. They're just ready to play. They played behind really good players last year. Now it's their time to shine.
The ETSU women also open the season tomorrow night at home in Brooks Gym against Cincinnati. It's the first of many challenging non-conference games on the schedule. ETSU will also play Tennessee, Notre Dame, NC State, and Michigan State to get them ready for what really matters to a mid-major team, your conference.
Going to make the NCAA tournament in the non-conference. We're a one-bid league. We understand that. Everything that we do in the non-conference has to be building towards the potential of winning the SoCon. And the opponents that we've presented our kids with in the non-conference are going to show a lot of different styles, a lot of different ways to play, a lot of different athletes that I think that will prepare us the best way we knew how.
And that's a look at sports. We'll have more News 5 on Fox after the break. Last time ETSU played a home football game on campus and outdoors, Richard Nixon was our president. A lot has changed since then, but the result of that game and the result of the Bucks' inaugural game at the William B. Green Jr. Stadium tonight are the same. More than 9,500 fans packing the stands for the opener. Coach Carl Torbush leading his squad out of the gate, and their first drive in the new stadium ends with a touchdown. Austin Herring finds Andrew Hayward for the 45-yard score, and the Bucks are in business early. Second quarter action. Herring dialing up the deep ball again. Anthony Spagnoletti on the receiving end this time, and it's 14-0 ETSU. Limestone getting in on the action later in the quarter. The Bucks fumble the punt, and the blue and gold recover. Coach not happy with the play, but it wouldn't matter. Jawan Stinson goes airborne over the defense, and ETSU christens its new stadium with a win, 31-10. News 5's Heather Williams has reaction from the Bucks after their big win. Thank you, Heather. The Emory and Henry football team ended the 2016 season on a 5-game winning streak and are hoping that momentum carries into this season. The Wasps are the preseason favorites to win the ODAC, but start the season with a non-conference game against Ferrum. Cold and drizzly day for the opener. Points were hard to come by. Emory and Henry striking first. Matt Seals drills the 24-yard field goal to put the home team up 3-0 after one quarter. Emory's defense tough in this game. Former Tennessee High standout Jaden Rosenborough starting the tip drill, popping it in the air, and Jalen Johnson makes the great grab for the interception. The Wasps, though, couldn't convert that into any points. Panthers get the first touchdown of the day when Brian Mann takes it in from 3 yards out. Ferrum takes a 6-3 lead into the locker rooms at halftime. After an Emory and Henry safety made it 6-5, the Wasps go back on top when Seals nails this 42-yard field goal. A costly fumble, though, by Emory and Henry with less than a minute and a half to play would set up this. Zach Clifford to Johnny White, a 20-yard touchdown pass, just 37 seconds left on the clock, and Emory and Henry falls 13-8. Virginia also opening up its season today, this time on a high note. Kurt Bennerk leading the offensive charge with 3 touchdown passes. The Cavaliers take care of business at home with a 28-10 win over William & Mary. And Jess, we just saw the highlights. ETSU, that game was electric, absolutely electric. Such a great crowd for their opening game. And it should
what
be
a way to open up the stadium for them, too, with a win.
31-10. You can't ask for a better opening day, like Heather said, almost perfect.
Yep. All right, well, thanks, Lucas. We'll be right back.